Let me,
amazing.
there we go.
Look at you. Aren't we festive?
Hold on a second here. Give me some volume so I can hear you because I'm deaf. From this vantage point, you can't see my train underneath the tree.
Oh.
Yeah, I love Christmas.
Can you lift your? Are you on your laptop?
No, I'm on my. I'm on a. See it down there?
Nice.
Yeah, I'm on my. I'm on my iPhone on a stand with a light.
Ah,
I can change the lighting.
You're a professional.
Let's see here. Hold on. Tell me when you like the lighting.
You look fabulous. We actually have sunshine today. Hold on. You can see. There's a puppy.
Nice
we actually
baby.
have sunshine today for the first time in like a week.
Same here. You know how it is. You were just here.
Yep. Yeah. So, hold on. Let me
look good, baby.
Thanks. I figured out how to use the filter on Zoom. It can take away a lot of my wrinkles.
Nice. Maybe I should find that.
Yes, you should. I mean, you know, you look fine, but
I'm good to go.
You look fine. All right. So, hi.
I miss you.
I miss you too. I miss Chicago. I miss you. I miss listening to you. So, I mean, it's kind of why we're doing this, right? Because we just miss each other and we have nothing better to do.
Well, you know, exactly. You know, it's funny because I was in Chicago doing a show this morning. As a matter of fact, I was pre-recording 2 shows. And I thought, I can't wait to talk to Kathy because she's better than these people.
I don't know about that.
No, fact.
Yeah. Anyway, I miss it. Mostly I just miss the listeners and the camaraderie and their content. My God, they were just a gold mine for content.
You know, you think about it, everybody always gets all crazy about it, and that's the new buzzword now is content. What do you do? What are we going to talk about? And I think the most overlooked product in any studio or podcast or anything these days is that listener interaction. Without listeners, what do you have? And It's funny because you and I have been out of this for a little while. I mean, I'm still filling in. I've got a whole host of things. I'm on Kansas City radio next week. Then I'm back on in Chicago. I'm on Fox 32 for the wreath laying ceremony at Abraham Lincoln National Cemetery tomorrow.
Are you doing? I'm doing that in Bozeman.
Awesome.
Not in any official capacity. I'm just taking my son to lay a wreath.
Oh, it's you know, it really it's amazing. There'll be in Chicago, there'll be 28,000 wreaths. I think we might even have more than that. And it's a big deal. And it's my dad's at Abraham Lincoln National Cemetery, so it's emotional to go there. And then my old coworker Trish Biondo's father's there. And to get back to talking about listeners, when I said on social media that I was doing it, I had all sorts of requests from people who've listened and follow me now to stop by their family loved one's headstone or niche, because that's what they call the you know, when you're interned in a little box. It's called a niche. So I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna, you know, pay my respects to all those people. It'll be cool. Good
for you. You've always been so good in the community. That's why I'm like, how the F are you not hired on Chicago radio somewhere? You are as local as it gets, involved in the community and just local. I don't get it. And I think a little bit of talent.
You know, I think there's a lot to it. You know how it is. There's always a, you know, there's 11 people in 10 chairs. I don't have a chair right now. I think some of the program directors are worried about me because I kind of say what I think, and there's no place for that anymore. You know, people don't want to be honest. In Chicago, man, you know, I know you love this town and I love this town. We're from here. And I think that everybody's, they don't want to be honest with each other. This city has huge problems. And just today, I work with a pastor named Pastor Donovan Price. Kathy, this guy is amazing. He's a pastor that goes from every homicide in Chicago. He goes there. And if it's a fatality, he goes with the body to the morgue, to the funeral home. He comforts the family. He is an amazing man. Solutionsandresources.org is where you find him. And he reached out to me today and he said, hey, man, I want you to be more involved with me next year in a bigger capacity. So I don't know if that's a role on their board or whatever.
Yeah.
But that just made me happy because, here I am, Joe, white suburban Chicago kid that can go into the inner city, and I go into some of the nastiest neighborhoods, and hopefully we can change somebody. And I don't know, man. Radio and I aren't working out right now, and I don't know why.
That's because radio isn't what it used to be. It's not.
Yeah.
And when we first got into radio, I mean, yeah, I miss it. And it's going to take somebody that just has the balls to go against corporate, go against what is supposed to be done, and go back to the good old fashioned way of programming with your gut, programming without, all the suits telling them what to do. But honestly, I don't know, because they're afraid of selling that. And I don't know if anybody will have the guts to do it, but I miss it. I miss radio. I miss the good old radio days.
Well, you said it. They don't have the balls. And ever since COVID came around, everybody's lazy. Nobody wants to work. Nobody, everybody wants to work from home. Nobody wants to go in the community. There's not, you said it. You said that I think the main ingredient, anybody in and you and I have done this on a pretty high level. Of course, you on a much higher level than me, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm talking to a radio broadcast Hall of Famer.
Stop.
But any radio consultant or person in the know will tell you that the only way you're going to beat Pandora, Sirius, streaming, any of that, is by doing something in the community that matters. And it doesn't always have to be some hoity-toity good thing. You can go out and do stupid, fun bullshit that people laugh at. Nobody does it better in Chicago than WGN television in the morning.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing that on the radio.
When I was in town last weekend, I have not, since I moved to Montana, you might think I'm crazy, but I really have not watched local TV. If I needed to see a forecast and I wasn't getting what I wanted on my phone, I would watch. But as soon as I got back to Chicago last weekend, I'm like, oh, I have to watch WGN in the morning. I love them. They 100% get it right. They're local. They're funny. They don't take themselves too seriously. I mean, look at Larry Potash on camera with a freaking sling and them teasing him. Like, we just have to get real. We have to get authentic. Like you said, I think everybody is just afraid to be real. It's a very sensitive world that we live in now, so people have to be careful. Yeah. But you can still be authentic and sensitive and entertaining. But anyway,
right? Guys like Thomas Ulo Thomas Ulo and Robin are awesome. The guys in Chicago radio that I dig, Sherman and Tingle, are doing a great job. And man, Bob Surratt, how old is Bob? Is he like 100 now? I know you were on his program.
Yeah.
But I was listening to Bob this morning, and you know what? Bob is comfort food for me. Bob is everything that was good for me growing up listening to Chicago radio, and he still does that.
Right.
And I missed it. Yeah. So, but we'll see what happens.
Yep. I miss the good old days. Yeah, like that is radio. I've been watching some documentaries on Netflix, and a lot of them have to do with record labels or radio music from back then. Woodstock 99 was just a freaking train wreck. That was an incredible documentary and a sad state of where we are now as a society. But anyway, we could go on about that. But yeah, like radio in the 70s, it was just golden. There's no other word for it. But
look at it. We're doing this now. There's so many different channels, and everybody has a platform. And you know what? Not everybody should have a platform. That's all there is to it.
My God, the podcasts. There's some good ones.
Hey, it's me. I'm Billy Boy on the Broken Nail podcast. Let's talk about your nails. What is all of this?
Right? I know.
But there's some good stuff out there too, man.
So let me tell you about Chicago and Chris Kindle Market last weekend. So I came into town to surprise my best friend of 40 years. We have been best friends forever. She lives in Wisconsin, and we became best friends when I moved from Chicago to Wisconsin. Sophomore in high school, I know nobody, and we become friends. So we've been friends all this time, and every year we would go to Chris Kindle Market. we went when it started over at what was the name of that little plaza at like 400 North Michigan Avenue? What did they call that over there?
See, I always remember it at Daily Plaza.
No. So when it first started, it was right at like Michigan Avenue and the river right across from the Tribune. Anyway, so it started there. So we've been going to Chris Kindle Market since it started. And then it moved over to Daily Plaza. It's gotten so big. It's people that enjoy everything that they offer at the market, the gifts. But then it became a big drunk fest when people realized they can drink hot wine and German beer and just have a good time. And
everybody's got to root it for the other guy.
So we would take our kids and every year and just have a blast. So I didn't get to see her this summer, and I just really miss her, especially since moving out to Montana. So I decided to surprise her to take her to Chris Kindle Market. So we go and we're driving around and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll find a parking spot. It's Saturday morning. What's the big deal? Well, we drove around and apparently I think this is the first year that they had metal detector to get in, because you could walk in from all around Daily Plaza. There wasn't any fencing or anything, but now you have to go through metal detector. Again, sad state of our country.
It would be easier. It would be easier to find somebody in Chicago without a gun than somebody with one.
I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh, but it did. So we looked, and the line to get in was a full city block. And we thought, oh, hell no. I can't imagine how many hundreds of people were in line. And so we went to the one at Wrigley Field.
Okay.
Wrigleyville. But it was also the weekend of a bar crawl.
Yeah, that wasn't the Santa. That wasn't the day that everybody dressed up like Santa, was it?
Well,
okay, that's the Puke Fest.
I don't know what they officially called it, but you could say that. It started at 10 and
the
it was
shit show.
Yeah. It was all college kids. I'm like, oh man, I remember the good old days being in Chicago and just being drunk at noon and peeing in alleys.
That was me last week.
See, you never grow up.
No.
Anyway, so yeah, we went to Chris Kindle Market, but what's interesting that came out of that weekend is I decided to videotape because I was surprising my best friend. She had no idea I was coming. So just to set it up, I was at my sister's house. She and her roommate live in Northbrook, and they're friends with my friend Denise. And they convinced Denise to come to the house for the weekend. And I was going to be there. So I got there Thursday night, and she got to the house on Friday. So I'm in the living room. She walks in the front door, and you can hear her, but you can't see her. And she drove for 2 hours in a snowstorm last Friday. So she's talking about, you know, her knuckles hurt and of course swearing, because we love to swear. And she comes in the kitchen, and I think she's going to see me at that point. She doesn't. She's yapping away. And finally I'm like, how the F do you not see me? But I said the real word. And
I know, I've seen it.
She turns around. So then it just got really emotional, and we're hugging, and you could see, because I still had my phone, and the phone is swaying, and my sister's roommate took the phone and then got us hugging, separating, looking at each other, like crying and hugging again. So I posted on TikTok. I'm not really on TikTok because I don't know what to do with TikTok.
TikTok's a pain in the ass.
Until you figure it out, yes. And I hadn't figured it out yet, nor have I yet. But so I posted it, and I figured I'm in radio. I know how to draw them in, right? Flew from Montana to Chicago to surprise my best friend of 40 years. Explicit language. My heart is racing, the suspense. So I knew that would draw some people in to watch it. But to watch a 3-minute video on TikTok, I was surprised people did that. Dude, it has had 5.7 million views. We're watching it, and when it hit 1 million, we're like, what is happening? How is this happening? And the reason I'm talking about it is because I don't know what to do with this now that 5.7 million people saw this. But I think the reason it resonated with people is because there's like a friendship recession. There are people that are just so desperate for friendship, especially since COVID. And this just really pulled at them. What did I heard somebody say the other day, love in action grabs attention. And I was like, ooh, wow. Yeah, that's true. And so
you do that though. You're very, you know, with all this new stuff you're doing, you're very, and that's what women do really, really well, especially you and my girl too, is you guys connect on a different level. And I always say that, you know, guys could learn from the way women treat each other, because we're all act like a bunch of hard asses. And especially, you know, and get back to your video, it's, you know, people see when they tune in to, you know, like somebody sent me a YouTube video yesterday, and it was a guy on a motorcycle getting hit by a bus. And I'm like, I don't need to see this shit. You know, there is a need out there for people that do good. And that's why I do good in the hood. And I think when I've seen the video, it's everything you describe it to be. People want good.
Yeah. And we swear at each other because I said, how the fuck do you not see me? Because I couldn't stand it any longer. I'm like, hello. And then the look on her face, and she comes over and we hug, and it was, and then she's like, you stupid bitch. And, I mean, that's just how we talk to each other. And that's a true friendship. And people resonated with that. And I think they just resonated. There are a lot of people that in the comments said, man, what I would give for a friendship like that. Yeah. And it's like, so what do we do? Like, how don't you think that there's like a friendship recession? It's really hard to keep friendships going, because if you've got different opinions, then it's like, I'm not your friend anymore. Unfollow, unfriend. It's so easy to not be friends anymore.
I think when it comes to me, it's like, I just have a hard time dealing with bullshit anymore. And I know when people are bullshitting me, and you know, I used to be friends with Kenny Rogers, the singer, and he had a song called "You Can't Make New Old Friends," and he sang that, I believe, with Dolly Parton, and it's true. You can't make new old friends, and I can count the people I can count on in my life on one hand. Yeah. But I do have some close guy friends that I know, and recently we've had in our group of guy friends, we've had a big tragedy that includes a suicide, and man, you know, it was cool to see all these big grown, you know, testosterone laden men's men, because I don't hang out with like your little fluffy radio Chicago guys. I hang out with real dudes. And to see the way they reacted and actually had communication with each other and talked about going and getting counseling and getting the proper help that you need, that was cool to me, you know. But that's what, you know, and I believe that that's what your video, you know, captured. It's like, you know, here are two people that genuinely love each other. They've known each other forever. And we do live in a world that is divisive, and I believe it's designed that way.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I mostly work conservative radio now. And but I don't go on conservative radio and pound my chest and act like a tough guy, which I think is where, you know, guys like Dan Bongino, who are very successful, much more successful than me, miss the mark with a big audience, because everybody wants to come across as, you know, well, you don't matter, you know, F you. And that can't be the way we do things.
That's what they're doing on radio? Really?
You know what? I think that there's a big portion of conservative radio that does that. And you know what? It happens on the other side too. You know, it all comes back to what you said. You believe this way, you believe this way, no in between. And there's you know what your dog's barking at? It wants you to throw that stick that's behind you.
Hold on. Let me hit mute so you can finish.
No, okay. No, that's the dog wants you to throw that stick that's behind you with the ornaments on it.
What stick?
Looks, I think you think it's a Christmas tree, but it's just a stick.
Shut up. Oh, I get my Christmas tree every year from Montana State University.
Yeah.
So the students go out into areas around here up in the mountains, and they just chop down trees. And
that's nice.
None of them are pretty.
Liberal college kids.
So
that's a Christmas tree?
Yes. And I don't care. I love my Charlie Brown Christmas trees every year. Every year they look like that, and I don't care. But so, not to get into politics, but the world it's being designed to divide us. And I think what we need to do is just, because my best friend and I, we differ on a lot of things. Vaccines. She's in the medical world, like the conventional medicine world, and I'm in the integrative. And we have very differing opinions, especially during COVID when all this hit. So
I'll take your side, man. Healthy with Hart.
don't take sides. Let people have their sides. It's okay.
No, I have to. I've got to. I draw the line at somebody telling me if I need to get a vaccine or not.
Well, 100%.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get into vaccine talk. Yeah. But the point in that is we're not going to change their mind. So shut the up. Let them have their opinion. You can share your knowledge. You can share what you know about it. And if they choose to take that in, cool. But if they want to just keep their opinion, that's fine. It's okay. We have to allow that. We can't try to convince people. Like I was watching on the show Yellowstone the other day, how Kevin Costner's character, John Dutton, is trying to convince this vegan why ranching is good and why being a vegan is bad. And that's another thing that you'll get people just going at it with each other. But if you can respectfully show your side of it, and they can choose to stay where their thought process is or not, that's why my friend and I are like, we get it. We get each other. We're different people and it's okay. Yeah. As long as we can still swear at each other and go have a hot wine and a bratwurst.
A hot wine and a brat. Hey, we're going to go to the Chris Kindle Market tonight in Aurora because we don't want to go to the one in Chicago because on Saturday, when were you there? Last Saturday?
I was there last Saturday.
They had to close it.
What happened?
Oh, people were fighting. People were stealing stuff. I guess they say there were 3,000 people out of control. We call that a Saturday in Chicago. And they had to shut it down. That's it. You're all going home. Nothing to see here. Go home.
Oh, I didn't hear that. When we drove by and it opened at 11 and we got there at 11:30. And as soon as I saw that line, I said, oh, no way. I'm not doing that. And then we went to the one at Wrigleyville. So, but I've never been to the one in Aurora. You have to get the hot wine.
Yeah, I think it's new. And just to double back to the one in Chicago. I mean, don't these people know? I mean, he knows when you've been naughty and nice. What do you think you're going to gain by pissing off a bunch of people with 3,000 unruly kids? Where are their families?
Yeah. So I posted something on social media today about just have to freaking be nice to each other. It's
nice. You're a lot nicer than me.
Well, here's the deal. I learned because I remember being in Chicago, driving home, road rage, dealing with a-holes. I mean,
you had to deal with a lot of a-holes in Chicago.
There's a few. And I've just learned, it's like, look, hurt people hurt. I think everybody knows that by now. And so when you see someone, and I told my kids this when they were going through some rough times in high school, when someone is hurting you or saying mean things, or they're just being an asshole in traffic or at the grocery store in line, this is the time of year where so many people are on edge. And I thought, you know what? If I flip them off and scream at them, it's going to get me all wound up. So I decided to try to just be nice. Now, there was a day I was like, I would do it with a smile, and it was progress. It wasn't easy, but it was progress. And now I've learned to give grace to people because I know that everybody's hurting and everybody's struggling. And there's just so many issues going on. And I'm like, what am I going to make their day worse? Or am I going to make their day better? I'm going to try to make their day better.
I think it's best not to flip anybody off or yell at them.
Not in Chicago.
It's best just to get out of your car and just get up to them and not let them know that you're coming. It's the art of surprise. I'm kidding you.
I know.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't, especially in Chicago.
I do have a bad temper though. And I try, you know what? I try every day to be a better guy. And sometimes it's hard. And I follow you on all the socials and you're very uplifting. And my girlfriend is she's all empowered, and she's smart, and she's fun, and she's funny, and she's a good Christian girl, and
she's
and
awesome.
she tries to keep, yeah, she's everything that's right in the world, and I try to I try to learn from her, you know.
Look at that.
Ooh, Whispering Pines, if I may just for a moment. Oh, that smells really good. That's Whispering Pines from the 715 collection at shopsustainablegrace.com. That's shopsustainablegrace.com. Order yours today. I actually formulated that smell myself.
Well, I'm glad it doesn't smell like you, but it reminds me of Wisconsin.
Well, I smell good right now.
Do you?
I'm wearing what I got Gina for Christmas.
What? What do you mean?
I got her some deodorant that doesn't have aluminum in it.
That's good. Aluminum.
Because she's
Wait, you got that for Christmas?
Well, it's going in the stocking. It's a stocking stuffer.
That's a gift. Deodorant as a gift? Ew.
Listen. I'm saving her life. I'm saving her life. No aluminum through the pits. This woman, hey, Kathy, I know you guys connect on this level.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, there's nothing, everything good goes into this body. And you can tell when you see her, you know, what it works.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, we eat free-range chicken that died in its sleep. We have chicken 6 nights a week. On the 7th night, I think we have tofu or some kind of a turkey. Who knows?
Wait, where's the grass-fed meat?
That I do eat beef.
Grass-fed beef is good. Not to interrupt you, but I did, and I will. Grass-fed meat is really good for the environment. Regenerative farmers have done tons of research on this. It's actually reducing the amount of CO2. CO2? What? Oh,
yeah.
Rain.
Yeah.
It's reducing CO2. It's helping farmers. Grass-fed meat is good for you.
She doesn't eat any.
Research it.
She doesn't eat any meat, anything like that. I do. But I tell you what, I've limited my red meat intake, and I feel good. We eat really well, and we work out. You know, I'm a little bit older than she is, so it's harder for my metabolism to cruise like hers does. But she's catching up.
Yeah.
She's the only woman I've ever met in my life that looks better with her clothes up.
Wait, what?
She's the only woman I've ever met in my life that looks better with her clothes off.
All right. That's a compliment.
Yes, it is.
It's a good compliment.
But I've only ever seen 2 women naked in my life. So
anyway, yeah, see, as a woman, I wouldn't know how to I wouldn't know how to take that. It is a compliment.
She's stellar. She's fantastic. She looks like she was chiseled out of stone.
Yeah. She's in great shape. You guys kind of remind me of Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. Remember when they got healthy and in shape? And weren't you like super duper in shape last summer or something? I
still am. Yeah. No, you know what? Last summer was awesome. This summer, you know, I'll tell you what, man. In I guess around May, yeah, I was riding high because I was supposed to be, you know, I had a big job on the line. I was going to be the guy, and it turns out I wasn't the guy, and that put me in a tailspin for a couple, 2 or 3 weeks. And then I was supposed to be the guy again, and then that, you know, so highs and lows, but I'm navigating. So, but you know, it affects you, because all I want to do is get up, and if I do a lot of charity work, so that drives me to keep doing stuff. But if you don't have a gig to go to, and I've been told that this is different for men and women, because, you know, a job defines a guy. I just want to be able to take care of my family. It doesn't define me. I just want to, you know, I think I have something to offer. I want to work.
You do have something to offer. That's why I'm super surprised that nobody's hired you yet. But then we won't get into the state of radio again. Yeah. But anyway, maybe it's not meant to be.
That's really your Christmas tree back there?
What?
That's really your Christmas tree?
Yes. Look at, there's even an angel on top.
There you go. I got one too.
Yeah.
Hey, I should find my snowmobile ornament for you.
This is not about perfection. It's about what makes you happy, and that makes me happy.
There's sand on a snowmobile. Wow!
Nice. I'm gonna go snowmobiling in Yellowstone.
Before we go any farther, can you just give me your title just one more time?
Give you what?
Your title, your snowmobile title.
The Clinton Fence Hopper Snowmobile Queen, 1980.
That is awesome. That is the best thing about you.
That I was the snowmobile queen. Here's the story behind that. So in Clinton, Wisconsin, small town, really small town, 1,900 people. We joined the snowmobile club because we've been going up to Tomahawk since we were little kids. And so when we moved, my parents were like, okay, they're having a fence hopper queen contest, or not a pageant, whatever. And my mom was like, you have to go out for it because there's only one girl and we need somebody else. So you have to do it. I said, oh, no. So she made me. So I did. And I tried to not win and I won. And then I went to the Rock County, because then you had to go to the next level. You had to go to
yeah.
So I go to Rock County and I freaking won that. And I was pissed. I'm like, wait, I have duties? I have to do stuff? No. So whatever. It was a great experience. Yeah, no. I am
You're royalty. You're royalty. You know what you are? You know what you are to me? Like, you're like this you're Tierra, you know? And just think about that. Where it was Clinton, Wisconsin, 1,900 people, now 1,899 because you left. But you're like the Meghan part of Harry and Meghan on HBO or whatever this is I've been watching.
On Netflix.
Netflix.
How am I like Meghan? Because I'm like a normal person?
Because, well, you're royalty. You know, I get made to watch a lot of things, Kathy.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know why this is, but our streaming service, whenever football's on, football sucks. It pixelates. I can't watch it. I actually turn it off, go out in my garage and tinker with whatever my project is. But if it's the Hallmark Channel or if it's Harry and Meghan or Meghan or Harry, it's fine. And I'm like, you know, the American Revolution ensured me that I don't have to deal with, you know, royalty ever again. But here I am watching it.
Oh, come on.
I'll tell you this.
You didn't like it? She's so pretty.
I said that last night. I said she's very pretty. I think that it's hard for me to wrap my head around feeling sorry for them. I feel sorry for William and Harry because of Diana. And I kind of, and Gina tells me this while she watches it. She's like, see what, because I don't think she went into this being a big Meghan fan. But now all of a sudden she's totally on Team Meghan. She sees things from her perspective, and she's like, they're doing the same thing to her that they did to Princess Diana.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have to understand. I don't care.
But we do.
And I want to watch football.
Are you ready for some football? Why can't you watch both? So here's my take on Harry and I almost said Diana. Harry and Meghan and what they're doing on Netflix. And a lot of people are like, why are they even doing this? And I think, and I don't know, this is just my guess, part of the reason is because they don't want their lives to be like Diana. It's like, enough. Look at the tragedy that happened behind this. However, doing this documentary is drawing so much more attention to them and making her even more desirable and sought after with the paparazzi. Although, you know what, I think any level of paparazzi and how they were following them was pretty crazy. Way more crazy in the UK than in the United States.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Good for them for not conforming to the rules of Buckingham Palace and living their life. I mean, they're, at the end of the day, they're human beings and they want to live their life. So,
well, my favorite royalty, if I have, and I know, you know, let's face it, most of your people are watching this. My guys, you know, they're talking about royalty. They're pushing the button to tune out. We want to talk about NASCAR. Shut up, but if I want to talk about muskie fishing,
I can talk about NASCAR and fly fishing. And
my favorite princess is Anne Hathaway in when she was the Princess of Genovia.
What?
Was that the Princess Diaries? Yeah, Princess Diaries.
Oh, okay. I remember that.
To watch that with my daughter.
I'm trying to think. Gosh, there's so
It
many.
was a joke.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it's just me kidding around. Do you fish or do any of that stuff? I'm so jealous of you. I mean, just so you know that when Kathy and I text or have a conversation, I'm like, could you just look at the mountains for me? What are they like today?
Yeah.
And I mean, it is just that is. I saw your son shoveling, and I don't know if you saw my post. I said he needs a 1979 square body Chevy pickup with a plow and Montana mud flaps on the back that say Big Sky Country.
Yeah, he does. I didn't see that comment, but he does, because he will not wear anything but shorts. But
I saw that.
So what do you expect?
That's kids, man. But I love it out there. It's so cool, you know. And there's still a portion of people, and it doesn't matter if you're in Montana or Indiana or the flyover states. There's still real men out there that you know, that understand that you can make a great living with your hands. You know, working the land. You know, I think vocation and vocational studies are something that we need to get back to in this country. You know, there's good money to be made there, and everybody wants to sit home and do this. Put content out there, you know, get 15 million hits on YouTube with her friends or whatever, you know, or TikTok.
Well, let me tell you about, because so many people are fascinated with Yellowstone, and it was one of the early episodes this season 5, where Kevin Costner got elected governor, John Dutton, whatever. And he's like, we are not New York's playground or California's tax write-off or whatever he said. And man, there's a lot of truth to that. So many people have moved to Bozeman specifically. They call it Bos Angeles, that it's forcing the locals, it's forcing the natives out. Our neighbors, they're renting. Family of 4, or they have 4 kids, family of 6. Their rent went up $900.
Holy crap.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous. And that has happened. It's more expensive to live here than in Chicago, in downtown Chicago. And I'm not exaggerating. It is off the charts. So it's pricing these natives out. So the service workers, the restaurant workers and blue collar, they're not here. So we go to a restaurant and all these wealthy people that move here are like, wait a minute, why do I have to wait an hour and 15 minutes for a table when there's 6 tables open? It's like, because they're not fully staffed, because you guys have forced the locals out and the natives out. So that is a big issue. And I will give Yellowstone credit and the writers and consultants credit, because they're pretty spot on with a lot of stuff. I think was it last week, 2 episodes ago, when they were talking about going to the bars in Bozeman. Beth wanted to celebrate one of the Cowboys' birthdays, and she's like,
I love her.
Oh,
I love her.
Yeah. And she's like, let's go to a bar in Bozeman to celebrate. And Rip was like, the bars in what did he say? The bars in Bozeman are full of tourists and fake cowboys. I was like, I've only been here 3.5 years, but yeah, that seems pretty accurate. Although there was one day I was in a bar and a horse came in.
Into the bar?
I'm not kidding you. Yeah, it was one of these. It was during one of the MSU games, and they get insane. It's bigger than any Chicago rivalry I've seen.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So this guy comes into the bar riding a horse, and everybody's giving him drinks, and he does a circle around the bar. Yeah. It was hilarious.
You know, there's so much there's so much that you miss if you don't get out there and understand what goes on in small town USA. And I think that's a problem in Illinois is, you know, Chicago rules the state, but once you get south of I-80, you've got real people with real issues that get forgotten about. And it pisses me off to no end. And it'll never change because of the amount of people and the Democratic bullshit that goes on, or I should say the Democrat bullshit that goes on in Chicago. But man, small town USA is cool. Rural America is cool. You know, I spent a lot of time in northern Wisconsin, but you know, what you bring up happens everywhere. You know, for the longest time, people would come up with a chip on your shoulder to northern Wisconsin and think they're better than the locals. And the fact of the matter is people from Illinois are going up there to find peace, or, especially after COVID. People moved out of here, went up there, extra pressure on the school system. They brought their bullshit ways with them. And then they bring their hoity-toity, I'm better than you bullshit along. And then they bring their voting ways. And that's what pisses people off. And I get it, man. I've got a lot of friends. I used to be pretty tied in with the Professional Cowboy Rodeo Association. I was an announcer. Yeah. And I've got a friend.
You did?
Yeah. No, I've got a friend that won the world in '91. He was the world's champion bareback rider. His name's Clint Corey, and he lives in Kennewick, Washington. And when you get a chance to hang around guys like this, that just get it on so many different levels, it makes you know that why I'm here, I have no idea. And every day that goes by that I don't have a good job makes me want to go out to Montana or up north, or but Colorado. And I've taken Gina to Colorado, but we see the attitude that the locals have against people that aren't from there, because they think you're part of the next wave of people that are going to come out there and disrespect them. I get it. Yeah, I get it. But man, as far as it goes, that's my kind of living. If I could hunt and fly fish and, have a small tractor and a UTV, and not a UTI, but a UTV, and have a little fun, I mean, that's living to me, and man, if you can do it out there, doing what you do, God bless you, because that's so flipping cool.
I love it out here, and it is so chill. And it's one of the reasons I moved out here, because I'd visited enough, and the people, they just don't give a shit about, there's no drama. They don't make a big deal out of anything. And they actually, like, probably the first few months I was here driving around, first of all, I did not see any Mercedes, BMW. If you
only the one you were driving.
If you don't have it, yep, I got rid of those. If you don't have a truck, and if you don't have a dirty truck, then you are not a Montanan. And so people actually let you merge. They were not, they wait. Strangers actually talked to you and said hi. And I've noticed already, you can tell when people aren't from here just in the way that they drive. And so that those people are starting to infiltrate Montana. And, I just hope that people that do.
You are those people.
Who are, or I am?
You are. That's that Kathy. That's that radio star girl from Chicago.
No, because even my son was like, why are you letting them in? Like, why? Basically, why are you being nice on them? So then when I was back in Chicago last weekend, I had to be like, oh, wait, I'm in Chicago. I got to drive like I'm in Chicago.
Right.
But anyway, you were talking about small towns, and I think small towns need help so badly right now. My best friend lives in a small town. She's still in that small town, and they just don't have access to clean water. They don't have access to healthy food. Organic food, if it's even available, is off the charts. And when you think about it, organic food shouldn't be organic. That's just normal food. Back in the day, that's how food was before glyphosate. And we won't get into all that, but it's just, our country is just so messed up right now. And it's like, okay, we can make changes by voting, but really, I think we need to make changes.
You got to make changes for yourself.
Right. By being nice to people. Just don't be a douchebag to other people.
Unless you're a douchebag to you, then hit them.
The more you can be nice to people. Hey, I have forgiven some people in my life, and I have prayed for people in my life that might not deserve it, but faith has gotten me through a lot of things and has taught me to pray for people that I might not think deserve it, or people that have hurt me. And it changed my life. It changed my life. This is another thing that
you and I had some conversations back in the day, man. I never, you and I, we'd spend, and people don't understand this, but we were competitors, you on your place and me over at US 99. And I have a great relationship with Lisa Denton. She always was jealous of you. I know you want to work with Kathy Hart.
I love her.
No, but she's one of my dear friends. She's like one of the guys to me. And what we had was really, really cool, because we were buddies, and we still are. And then you and I would talk, and it just, you're better off out there.
Oh, I know. I know. I miss radio like crazy. Hey, Why can't somebody hire us? I can work remote and you can work in studio and you can do all the work. No, I don't know. I feel like people have to just shift and understand that everybody in this world is struggling. And if we can just, I don't know, I feel so preachy, but if we can just be nice to people and just do the best we can to make positive.
You're talking about the way things are supposed to be. And I think to a point, I think, there's some expectation for that, but I think we got a long way to go before that expectation can become a reality. Because, I know you don't want to, I'm a political guy and I love conservative radio. But I could also do this on what you might consider, liberal radio, because, the one thing is nobody can be honest with each other. Everybody just fights for their side, and everybody's got a little bit of, I'm not too far over this way that I can't, see what you're thinking about or doing over here. But the thing of it is all they want to do is when you watch the last election cycle, you would think, oh my God, the biggest problems we have in this world are, abortion. And I know we don't want to talk about that, but most normal people don't discuss that during the course of a lunch or a day or anything else. Yeah. Most normal people don't dive that deep. But what we did is we used it all to just piss each other off. And, it just.
Here's another problem that I think our country is dealing with is labeling. We have labeled each other and we've given ourselves labels, or we've given labels with like a medical diagnosis. And now I had this conversation with someone I met out on a retreat. We all know that there's a mental illness crisis in our country, in our world. And we got into a really great, respectful debate. And she goes, how dare you say that? Because your daughter might have anxiety, even though she hasn't been officially diagnosed. And so we had this great conversation about how, okay, well, if you haven't diagnosed bipolar or with anxiety or depression, then you've got ways and hopefully tools and resources to handle that. And by the way, great documentary on Netflix with Jonah Hill. I think it's called Stutz, about his psychiatrist.
All I watch is the Hallmark Channel.
That's been helping him. And you're such a man. You're such a man. Anyway, I don't like that we label each other or ourselves, and we use it as an excuse to not better ourselves and to not move on. We got to heal from all that crap that happened to us. Absolutely. But are we going to label ourselves a victim and live being a victim the rest of our lives? Because it's holding us back. It's holding us back.
I don't know how much, you've gone through some shit. I've gone through some shit, but you've gone through, I think people get it. And you came out of it, by living a better life. And you're absolutely right, because we can't just sit around and play ain't it awful. And I get it. I understand that there's a lot of bullshit. And I think, in the last couple of years with COVID and kids in school, a lot of their life was changed and uprooted, and that hurt them. And my daughter's right in that wheelhouse, but she's a tough little son of a bitch. She's tough. My youngest daughter, is just a rock star. Now, my oldest daughter, she's the one that's got the anxiety and everything. And I'm the bad guy because, look, I'm all about self-healing and getting yourself help and stuff like that. But what you just said makes all the difference in the world. Fine. We're going to give you every resource you have, but don't play the fucking victim. Don't play the victim your whole life, because we're not victims. I get it. Some people really struggle with depression. I don't mean to belittle that at all.
Yes, I agree.
But and I'm all about, hey, if you want to go get counseling, you want to do that stuff, that's cool. I've been in counseling before, mostly for marriages, but which is just a whole nother bottle of witchcraft. But you're right, man. Work with yourself. Stop all this medication crap, and be the best you can be. It takes time, but you can do it. Yeah. There's people like you that can, your whole, wherever I can follow you, I follow you on all the socials, and I see what you say every day. And I even responded to you one day. I said, you know what? I said, I think I need more Jesus. I think I said something like that, and I do.
You did.
Yeah. And here's the funny thing. and this goes, and we've been talking now for about an hour, so I don't know if I think we mentioned this, but that pastor in Chicago that works in some of the toughest areas in the city feels enough about me to ask me to be on his board of directors or work with him, help the kids in the city, bring what I can bring, because I do it a lot. And, that makes me feel good. So it doesn't make me feel like such a heathen. But, faith is what pulls us through. We all need to have faith. Hey, there's my girl. You want to get on camera? She's got to catch the mail lady. We're shipping. It's the very busy season for.
I know. She's got to get those cables out.
SustainableGrace.com.
Yes. No, we are too
Shop Sustainable Grace.
What?
It's Shop Sustainable. I just got reprimanded by the boss.
Oh.
Kathy, I'm not even the boss of my own house. Get her.
Oh,
Get her.
the dog agrees with that.
Hold on one second. Hey, come here.
That is too funny. Which one of your puppies are you going to get?
Hutchie.
Oh, look at Hutchie.
Hutchie, the dog I love so muchy. Go to Paws, Chicago.
Wow.
That's where he's from. He's from Paws, Chicago. We saw him on Channel 2 with a friend of ours named Mark Lucas and rescued him. PawsChicago.org. They do wonderful work. I'm big on helping dogs.
Oh, good. Yeah, we even rescued a few kittens, a few cats. I don't know where.
So,
here, hold on. Let me show me.
Okay.
My kitty. So
cute. Those two dogs, although little, have saved my girlfriend's
You hear that
life so many
barking?
times. Oh, there you go, kitty. Look at that. Yeah. She's like, give me some of that sun.
Look at that. Oh, they're so cute.
Is that a boxer?
It is a boxer.
Right on.
Yeah.
Wow, you have sun there. What's that like?
I know. We haven't had sun forever. Dude, we've had like about 4 feet total already of snow. Yeah. It's been the snowiest December in Bozeman history.
Here.
What?
Say hi to Kathy.
Is it Gina?
Let everybody see what you look like.
Is that Gina?
Come on.
Is this so pretty? I don't know how.
Come here.
I still don't know how you
Come on. You look great. You look great in your Abercrombie hoodie there.
I don't have any makeup on.
Tell me what you want for Christmas, little girl.
Do you like my office chair? Isn't it nice?
Yes.
Look at that. Look at that stick.
Look at my candle.
That's her Christmas tree. There's our candle.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. And
that's her Christmas stick.
Is it a real tree?
It is real. They chopped it down in the woods in Montana somewhere. The MSU students did. So I like it. Back off, Ray. Life is not about being perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I got to get back to Kathy.
Okay.
Sorry about the dog.
Get out of here.
Hi, Gina. All right, we should wrap it up. But it was good talking with you. Are you going to go watch a Hallmark movie now? And
tonight, I think we're supposed to do the Chris Kindle Market in Aurora. Okay. But you're here. Now, let me ask you this. Tell me if this raises any red flags.
What?
And you don't get to chime in on this.
Okay.
So about, what was it, a week or two ago, I'm out working in the garage on one of my snowmobiles. And this one comes out into the garage and goes, "You're going to think I'm crazy." And I'm like, "No kidding." And she goes,
I mean, I am crazy.
And she goes, "I'm going to go stay down at the..."
No, that's not how I phrased it.
Well, how did you phrase it since you're here?
I said, "You're going to think I'm crazy." But I said, "There's a Christmas gala downtown.
At the Drake.
Hallmark Christmas gala." And I said, "I want to go, but no one wants to go with me. So I'm going to go by myself."
Good for you.
So my girlfriend
and I said I met some people online, which she thinks that's absolutely crazy.
Really? How do I know she's not going to be tracked?
So I made friends with this woman that has
allegedly.
No, she has a podcast where she does. That's how I found her. She does podcasts with all of the Hallmark actors and actresses. That's the one I sent you. So I made friends with her.
Yeah.
And I was on the fence about going. And then turns out she went to an event in June by herself. And then so did a bunch of other people. And then all the girls like made friends. And then now they're like the best of friends. And so she's like, "You should come." And so
because it's totally normal when a beautiful woman comes out and tells her guy, "Hey, I'm going to a motel for the night." A hotel.
Well, I did.
That's how you take it.
I did. Yeah, I did get a room because I was at the event didn't end. I don't think until 12.
Nice. See, you're being responsible. It's smart.
Well, I did ask him if he wanted to bring me there and pick me up, and he said no. So, yeah. So he was really mad at me, and
why am I going to pick you up? I picked you up years ago.
He wouldn't talk to me, and he was so mad because he thought I was.
Well,
crazy.
no, because all my buddies are, she posted all these pictures of her with these hunks of Hallmark who don't look half as good as me, and right.
He was jealous.
I wasn't jealous. It's like all my buddies are like, "Oh, look at Jana's got a new boyfriend." Hi, pick up the dog. Let's show this one. Okay. This is our.
That's what Ray thinks, but all the girls were like, "Oh my God, how did you meet the Hallmark people?"
Okay. Look it.
And now they all want to go.
I have a confession, and I probably shouldn't say this.
Won't tell her about us.
You don't like the Hallmark movies.
I've never watched one.
God, can I date you? Here, you have to go. I'm going out with Kathy Hart now.
Here.
Or Achenbach or whatever the hell she calls herself.
I know. I don't even know who.
Assenbach. You ain't no Assenbach, girl. I already had him on.
I've never watched.
He didn't want to be left out.
This is look. This is.
What did you say about the Hallmark movie?
I've never watched one. I mean, I don't watch a lot of TV. I watch Netflix and Hulu and Apple.
I started watching them, Kathy, a few years ago because Ray would always be gone in Wisconsin. I'd be home by myself. He'd either be there doing guy stuff or he'd take his kids a lot back when they were younger and they didn't have their own lives and things they were into, and thought it was still cool to hang out with Dad.
My son still hangs out with me and tells me he loves me every day.
He does, but I'm talking about like your daughter and whatever when they would go. So I used to like sit there through like Netflix, Prime Video, and try and find a movie every Friday or Saturday to watch. I'm like, these movies are terrible, and there's like, who pays for Netflix? There's never any good movies on there. But now I'm hooked on shows, so that's another story. So then
long story longer.
So then I just started watching the Hallmark Channel, and I was like, oh, these movies are like so uplifting, and there's always a happy ending, and so
there's a happy ending.
We like happy endings.
Not that happy ending.
I'm sorry, I'm such a dude sometimes.
Yeah, so then
I'm single.
So then I just got hooked on him, and I was just like, okay, well, now this is what. So every time he goes away, that's what I watch.
We go out.
I'll try to watch one tonight.
Kathy, if we go out.
I mean, some are kind of, but most are like pretty good.
All right.
You mind if I talk for a second?
No, not at all.
We go out. She puts the Hallmark channels on for my dogs. These are men. These dogs want to watch ESPN. They want to watch mixed martial arts fighting. They want to watch Fight Night.
No, you want to know why I put it on? Because there's never, I know there's never going to be any shouting, violence, anything that could like remotely like upset the dogs. It's all like calm. Except in every Hallmark movie, you'll notice that the mother of the woman is dead. There's no mom. She died somehow. Oh yeah. So I need to reach out to Hallmark people. So I also made friends with this writer. And so I'm going to ask her, like, what is the deal? Like, do they not have enough budget to have a mom and a dad? Does somebody always have to be dead? Like
See, this is my life. You're getting a glimpse.
Most of the parents, it's like,
you wonder why I go away with the guys.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good though. It's good to have time apart. And
it is.
Yeah. When are you leaving?
Right now.
Good.
See you later, Gina.
No, don't push me off.
You're done. You're done.
Don't push me.
Hey, what else?
We're done.
So yeah, Lacey Chabert is my favorite Hallmark actress.
Yeah.
You'll like her.
Oh yeah, she's fantastic.
Name.
Everything that she's
and I know her name. How sick is that?
Lacey Chabert. It looks like Chabert. Okay. That's how it's.
Oh, I know her. She was in. What was that show she was in where she was a little kid? Not a little kid.
General Hospital.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. I think she was in General.
Talking my
Who was she? Who was she? What's her name's daughter?
What's her name's daughter?
I don't know. All right. I'm going to go try to enjoy the rest of this sunny day.
Oh, God. Enjoy the mountains. God bless you.
Okay,
I want to be a cowboy.
Here, I'm going to take, there's my other dog.
Hey, would you go grab my hat real quick?
There's Lulu.
Your house is so cute.
It's all done up.
It's a little dirty right now, but anyway. Oh my God, the dogs.
Oh gosh,
it's been too cold.
Look at all those guitars she stole from her old radio gig.
Stay. It's been too cold to let him out.
Oh, look at that sky.
Wait, can you see the mountains?
Holy cow, look at all that snow.
Wow.
Wait,
no, I can't see the mountain. Oh,
there
we
we
go. Now
go.
Oh,
you
wow.
see them?
Yep.
What's that song we always sing, Gina?
Meet Me in Montana. Don't start singing it.
By Dan Seals and Marie Osmond.
He
I-
tries to make you
I've
duet
heard
with
that,
him.
yeah.
It's terrible. It's a terrible song.
It's a great song. You're just a terrible singer.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna go. It was
Hey
fun.
man, Merry Christmas to you and your
Yeah.
crew. Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas to you. Even
I'm
though you're
enjoying my air purifier. Thank you.
under my tree. Yeah, mine's right there. See it? Anyway. Okay, I'm sure we could talk forever, but it's getting boring now. So
Bye.
Sorry about that. Next time
It wasn't-
next time we talk, let's talk about bass fishing, muskie fishing, hunting, snowmobiles, and pickup trucks.
I can talk most of those things probably.
I know you can. Well, I love you, man. You know what? I think the world of you. So
Same.
thanks for doing this. I think this is fun.
Goes both ways. You know, we'll just do this because we got nothing better to do, right? And have some
Not, nothing better to do is a fact. I am on let's see, I'm on KCMO next Friday. They asked me to do a lot more fill-ins, and I'm like, nah, So I'm on KCMO, I'm on WIND in Chicago, and just putting this stuff together.
Get that agent of yours working for you. Okay, Merry Christmas. All right, I'm going to hit end, and I'm going to do that awkward where I'm looking at the end. I hit end and then leave meeting and then stop recording. So I'm going to do that now. End meeting for all, and to all a good night.